Hi, this is Eric. I am the Gray Goat. It's my garage, my rules, and we're powered by ombwarehouse.com. Today we're going to talk about bracing a header. And I know there's 98% of everything I see out there, none of the headers are supported to the engine. One thing that if you look at this pipe here, there's a lot of length out here. This pipe is easily 20 inches away from these two studs here. That presents an issue when these engines start vibrating and moving around a little bit. The vibration here is leveraged out to this end, and this end will move ½ inch up and down. We don't want that, because what that's going to do eventually is you have the ability to pull head studs out of the head and possibly have this header pipe crack here at the flange. That's very common on these bikes. Nobody ever braces their headers. Today we're going to brace a header. So I have an 18-inch piece of steel that's not real thick, 3/4 of an inch wide, and we're going to make our own header brace. I got this from the hardware store. It's nothing special. There's nothing different that needs to be done to this other than drill a hole for a 16mm screw in the end of the pipe. So we're going to use the cylinder head as our support. We don't want to support a header from the frame. The engine and the header need to move independently of the frame. If you were to strap this to the frame, it'll break faster. So what I'm going to do is, to get started, I'm going to take my piece of metal and just snug it into the head and kind of eyeball how I want to do this. So I want to run this strap out to, this is a staged header, so I want to run it out to the first stage of the header, not the second stage, because this is where the muffler is going to go on. So as long as we run it out here pretty far, we'll be fine. So the first step, I need to get this pipe, this tube in line with the pipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend it, let's say right about here. So you'll be taking this on and off quite a bit. So I'm going to take it, put it in my vise where I mark the line with the Sharpie, and I'm just going to bend it a little bit. Okay, I think we'll go a little bit more. What I want to do is I like to support my headers from underneath the pipe. And you're going to say, great hoogly booglies, how's he going to do that? Okay, so right about here, we're going to have to bend back the other way. Well, that ain't working for me. Vise not high enough. So now I've got another bend there. But what I want to do is I want my header, I want my strap to be flat against the bottom of the header. So that means I need to turn this part 90 degrees. So, sorry, I'm doing this on the fly. So now I'm going to take my adjustable metric crescent wrench and I'm just going to turn this 90 degrees. I didn't prep for this, and you can probably tell. But see, it bends quite easily. So now, need a little more bend here. And I need to bend this back a little bit. This is the hardest part for me, figuring out which way to bend it. And we're going to bend this back a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to move this out a little bit. What I want to do is I want to have this piece of metal sit flat with the frame. So once I have it bent roughly into shape, I'll go ahead and screw this back onto the cylinder head. And I'm seeing that we need to come back a little bit this way. So I'm going to open up this. Now what I'll do is okay, so now we're sitting flat here against the header. I'll take my Sharpie and mark this off here so I know where to cut it, and then I'll simply put a hose clamp right here. And what that's doing is that essentially is triangulating all of this, and will keep the vibration down here. This is going to keep you from pulling header studs, and this is plenty strong enough here to help support this. So this pipe's not going to be moving up and down 2 inches as you're running, because there's so much vibration in these engines. So build yourself a header strap. It's easy. Here's what I do for my old flathead engines. I have an aluminum 1-inch clamp that I drilled and tapped on the top for a screw, and then run this strap up to the head, and it sits just like this on the head, and it helps support this strap. You don't want to run added support to the header studs because you're not accomplishing anything. You're still the same amount of stress on those studs. So we want to mount it on a different point on the engine, and typically on the cylinder head. So make yourself a strap like this. You saw me, I'm no expert, took me 2 minutes, well, maybe 4 minutes. So a little added support here will help this header last a whole lot longer, a lot less vibration. This gets real heavy when you hang an RLV muffler on the end of it. The 1 5/16 muffler goes on here, and it's, I don't know, probably 12 ounces at least. So it's a heavy muffler. So support your header. Your engine will love you for it. Your header will love you for it. Your muffler will be happy. And the Grey Goat will be happy. That's all I have to say about that. I'm Eric. This is the Grey Goat Garage. Get out there, bust out the drill. Go buy yourself a piece of steel at the store. Make it look crazy. If you want to get real crazy, make something out of aluminum that you can bolt to the pipe, bolt to the head. It doesn't take a lot of work. Have some fun doing it. But if you support your header, no more cracked flanges, no more pulled head studs, no more diggy at the end of the header. I'm Eric. I am the Grey Goat. This is my garage. It's my rules. We're powered by OMBWarehouse.com.